We zoom into our communities, and there is an unfortunate incident that has happened. Now, you remember that on Tuesday, we sat here when Samuel was on set with us. We sat here, we spoke about the dangers of people trying to cross the Volta Lake.
Yes.
No, the Oti River. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so they can go about that normal activities.
Yeah.
Now, when you watch those images, they were very scary, very worrying. And we sat here to say that, look, with the way we are handling this issue,
Disaster
we
will
will
happen
not
any
be
moment.
surprised to hear of any untoward news. Lo and behold,
that same day,
we did not even wait for another 24 hours. That very same day, there was an accident that claimed the lives of 8 children.
Yeah.
8 children.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what we were talking about. Now, this happened on the Volta Lake. These children had to go to school. Other children had to swim their way to safety. Those who could not do that had to just die. We all sit down and we watch on to let these things happen. Now, a day after the incident occurred on Tuesday, what has been happening? We have a CNR report. We'll play that and come back to the studio to look at the story in detail.
8 pupils from Atikagome who were on their way to school on Tuesday lost their lives when a boat they were traveling on capsized. The 8 children, made up of 5 boys and 3 girls, have been buried. The Bono East Regional Minister, who visited the Atikagome Island community, spoke on the issue.
In their quest for knowledge and their desire, so on by knowledge, in another place for education. And unfortunately, community they are deaf. There are a lot of things that we can do, as I say, the first place, the population are and also, as a government or people, the child labor should not be encouraged. As a result of that, the parents are so many embraces for school. Now, how you motivate for the teacher in the bar from person? About another few days, the person will be transferred for another place. Already initiated a process with Ghana Educational Service, the new Director General, where he said, perform more education, more qualified, good, okay, so much radio young family. Them say, Sana Mono, you true, now you be school, no be or a boy, choir, from almost a child more fat, so more school in your the balance of assemblyman, so I show and say immediately, we put together an infrastructure. If we 200, then we are a picture. Any voter via reform, so bidding kita, Ira Jeffado, and none of the Casa, in a Zoom live. When we are between motor about in the interim, Frano, Cusco, on between a Cusco,
A parent, Yawa Ajo, who lost 2 children, also spoke on the incident.
Well, so that is it, and I don't know why we do this to ourselves. I am a mother and I can really understand what she's going through. You say goodbye to your child to go to school, and then you are home. This is all you hear. And you know, the sad thing is, this could have been avoided. Now we have the regional minister go there, commiserate with them for what exactly? That what? We are sorry for what? Over things that could have been prevented. Look, we are still talking about Oti River. We will sit here and wait till this happens in the Oti River, and then we come back. Why are we doing this to ourselves as a people?
Frema, do you know that in 2021, on the 12th of November, we actually have a Citi newsroom story that said 8 JHS students drowned after boat capsizes in Oti River?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's actually even happened already. So this posturing of government leadership, as if you are sorry, sorrowful.
You are not sorry, so why are you doing this? You are not sorry. Because you don't care.
The act of real, genuine sorrow is to take decisions that effect lasting change, right? What does it cost? You know, and the discussion now is what? They say they are trying to buy life jackets for all the students. For crying out loud, let's be logical. The people take boats. When you go to Inzolezo, Benin, where you get into the boat to go,
yes,
the boat operators have life jackets.
But David,
you don't need to own your own life jacket to arrive.
David,
at
do you
the place.
think? Do you think it's out of stupidity that we have seatbelts in cars? Why don't the cars come without seatbelts, and then later we go and find some seatbelts somewhere and come and put it? No, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
We have to get. For you listen to the way the
do you get it? And it looks like we are used to this.
We'll buy the life jackets for the students so that they'll be using.
And we are now looking at.
You are joking.
In the interim, engaging VRA to find safer ways. Didn't you know that these are children who go to school?
2 years
are
ago,
they starting school
1.5 years
today?
ago? People have already been killed. What did you do then? That you are now coming to pretend as though you are serious about doing something about it?
No, this is not cool.
Please,
it's
unacceptable.
Not cool at all. It's not cool. Because the sad thing is, we won't have the regional minister's child in there. We won't have an MC's child in there. We won't have an MP's child in there. Are we not human beings? Are we not the ones always paying taxes? Why do you do this to innocent Ghanaians? It is that terrible. It is bad. Our leaders have failed us. And it is very unfortunate. And sometimes we need to say it bluntly as it is. Why should a mother just say goodbye to her child and then be home and all they say is, your child, why should every child learn how to swim? Is that what we are trying to say? Because as you go to school, you don't know whether your child is coming back home safely or not. Why are we doing this? But we can rush and go and commiserate.
Yeah.
When the accident happens, we can leave everything we are doing.
To go,
go there, go show face, grant beautiful speeches, and come back home and come and eat. While other people are there.
Ridiculous.
Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why?
It doesn't make any sense, you know. And I think that it's important for our leaders to take proper decisions. You remember what Semens was saying? His proposal of he gave 4 different interventions. That could be the immediate terms, middle, intermediate, and then long-term solution. Long-term solution is to build proper bridges across these points where people have to cross, right? But in the interim, and one of my things is that life jackets do not cost much. How much money are you spending on life jackets?
As against the monies we are spending on other things.
Yes. And
that will not change the life of Ghanaians anyway.
And then, I don't even understand why the district assemblies in these areas do not have life jackets for their people.
Do you get it?
I don't understand. And you see, it's not, the solution is not buy a life jacket for every child. I don't get it. I don't understand that. You see.
Why do we have school children?
Yes.
Okay, sit on a very shallow canoe, paddle their own canoe without life jacket in the middle of nowhere, you know, and we all don't know what will happen. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I really don't understand it.
So this happens, and look at where the canoe is right now. So if it capsizes, let's say that the children even know how to swim.
Yeah.
Look at the distance to the shore.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
are we doing this?
Yeah.
And we expect them to go sit down in classroom, concentrate, study, understand, come and make changes in Ghana. Look, if you treat people like this, do not expect any patriotism from them because their state has failed them. The people who believe that, yes, we also have something to give back to their society. Society supported them when they were growing up. Society paid attention to them. So you owe it to your country to also give back. But if you treat your children like this, you are training them to become enemies of the state. This is why nobody seems to care. This is why you put people at certain positions and all they care about is money, how they can enrich themselves, because you have failed your future generation. This is bad. It's about time we have a proper conversation on this. It is terrible. Look at what we are watching. Look at that. If this capsizes, then what? A young lady going to school, she has to paddle her own canoe and go.
Well, we have the DCE Fort Sine East constituency, Jerome Kofi Jima, has joined us on the line. Honorable, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Honorable. Honorable, this thing that has happened in your constituency, I'm sure you're, gutted by the experience, but it's not the first time children are losing their lives on our river bodies. Why should it be happening at this time? We're in 2023. Why should it be happening?
Well, thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to extend my greetings to the people of Citi and the country as a whole, and then show our sudden grief that we had within the shortest possible time. I must confess that the people of Citi we are in grief and entire nation at war. The fact of the matter is that these children, this is not the first time that they cross from that place. Atikagome communities to Wayokopi community, every day they cross. And what happens is that any time that they get to the river bank, whoever comes there, whoever maybe went for fishing and retraining and see the children, we pick the children and call them. This community is having two female teachers and one of them and the other one fell. So the children were to go to school alone. So when they got to the river bank, they were stranded and there was nobody to cross them. So the man having seen competition, decided that they were going to ignore them. And it is not the first time that somebody had even heard the children or the friend that this man had even called them. The man had been crossing them any time. So in the process of crossing them, then one of the students decided to fetch water in the middle of the water, on the middle of the water. So the canoe swayed. So when it swayed, precious water, because they were too much, it precious water. And some of them fell into water. So the man decided to rescue them. So in the process of rescuing them, some of them can also swim. So they helped one side of the swimming pool, and the tents, and the whole capsized. In our area, we have the river boat and then we have the small boat. So it was the small boat that they were using, and then it's capsized. So it's not like it's a wretched beach or canoe as estimated by CFM and Drive. And then when we look at the canoe or the boat on the social media, that is not ours. When you see ours on Sene River or on Sene River journey the Volta River, our canoes are different. We have the larger one that we have the small type. When you check this one, the one that they go with the fishing, you don't put cork inside. You don't put metals inside. They don't have metals in front of the canoe. And then they don't have side wheels with a stick and thereabout and then having rules on it. Then when you look at where the incident happened, when you take a shot, it will not take any houses. It will take grasses and trees and all. So it's a bushy area. And then on the water, when you take a shot, and then you find a canoe, when you look at the social media, the canoes that was on the water aside the one that had subsided. That canoes are not ours. those canoes are meant for
Honorable.
sea.
Honorable. Honorable.
Yes.
You seem to be at pains to try and explain that what has happened is a freak accident, and so you and your leadership in the constituency are not to blame, and so on and so forth. But Honorable, I have to ask you a very simple question. Why are any children crossing the river in a boat without life jackets under your constituency? Why is it happening?
Our constituency, through we've been able to provide communities with life jackets. We've been able to provide community jackets. That is those who use the boat. So they are when they are traveling, it is on to them to use the life jacket. Although it's not enough, we've been able to provide them. In the last month, last 2 years, we were able to provide them the life jacket. So we will not be able to tell why they didn't use the life jacket. That is why we are saying that we are going to make sure.
Honorable, I don't understand. This is not the first time we know people have lost their lives on river bodies. This river body is in your area. The people cross on a daily basis. If you say you don't know why they didn't use a life jacket, that's dereliction of duty. Somebody is supposed to enforce the use of life jackets. Whether you feel like it or not, you must use it. I don't understand.
Let me come. If you know where the incident happened, you will not be speaking the way you are.
What is
Honorable, let's understand. Let's understand.
How can the district executive get to the river bank of each school?
Honorable.
And then we're asking them
Honorable. Did the assembly get the life jackets for the boat operators?
Which of them? We don't give life jackets to
okay.
We give it to the boat owners.
Okay.
So we give it to the boat owners. So when they are going, and to them to put on the life jacket.
Okay.
And then we don't supervise the people who are crossing. It's the marine police and then the Navy people who supervise that. We don't do that.
Very well,
so
Honorable.
It's our duty to provide it. So you don't expect that the district executive will go.
No, we are not saying that the district chief executive should go. We are not saying that. But no, Honorable, let me ask you this, please. So as the assembly, this is the means of transportation for the children to go to school. What has been measures that have been put in place by the assembly to ensure that children who use this means are safe and they can go to school and come back without experiencing some of these things that we've experienced?
That is why I mentioned that to procure some of the large jackets, some of most of the community with the island community who provided them. It's not enough. So we are looking forward to liaising with the and other development partners to be able to for additional ones. But for the meantime, we are looking at getting because GN hasn't given us for 1 security years. So we are looking at that's the when the regional minister. I know we are going to get additional teachers so that we can have a student so that
right.
it's not like people.
Okay.
From one community to another.
Okay.
So
Honorable.
At that place.
When
also looking at you using your platform.
Honorable, can you please listen? Can you please hear us out? Honorable, when did the assembly give these life jackets out?
And how many?
I can't recall the time that we gave.
Okay.
So was it a year ago? Was it within the last year?
Now, Honorable, how much does a life jacket cost? One.
I can't recall because as of the time that we distributed, I can't recall.
Okay, that is fine. How many pieces of life jackets did you purchase at the time to give to the community members?
We don't give the life jacket to community members.
So who did you give them to?
We had about 20 to 30 boat owners. So we gave between 10 and 20, depending upon the size of your boat.
Okay. Now, these life jackets that were purchased were, this was done with funds from the assembly. Whose responsibility is to supervise that the people you gave the life jackets to are really putting them to the use while you gave them to them?
It's Marine Police and then the Navy people.
Okay. Now, what is the engagement between the assembly and the Marine Police and the Navy people? Is there any form of engagement at all?
It has to be.
Yeah, there is engagement. We are even work with the Israel people, and then they are in those communities. The issue is that where the incident happened, they hardly go there. These are people when you go, but most of the time they look at where they have the major crossing areas. That has to do with market women and thereabout crossing.
Okay. Now, the REXEC, the DISEC in your area, what exactly can they also do to help this? And what really is their responsibility?
The DISEC are taking steps. That is why I mentioned the life jacket. And then I mentioned that we are in discussion with the Ministry of Education and to be able to have a separate fee for them. And then we are also looking at having a motivation for those teachers who will be on the island so that it will also serve as a motivation for those people who will be closer to those places and will accept it. So these are the things. Then I'm also looking at using your platform to approach philanthropists, individuals and government institutions and agencies to also come to our aid. The assembly cannot do everything within our powers to assist all these communities. We have a lot of the communities. I think what we need to understand is that Citi has one of the largest rivers that connects with the Volta. And then when we go to that area we share boundary which I can't be north and south. And then there has a lot of villages there. When you go to Kachi East, which is Damba, there are some of our villages there. When you come to Kachi West, we share a boundary, major boundary with them. Then when you go to Kachi Chungu, we share a boundary with them. When we go to that is the with them, and then we share a major boundary with Senegal. So we are in U-shape. Wherever you go, as soon as you enter Senegal, when you go left, when you go right, you go amid the river. These are the problems that we
All right.
Honorable, thank you very much for your time this morning. We appreciate your time with us. Frema, it's painful to hear a leader who has been appointed as head of a district lamenting as though he were you and I. Lamenting as though he had no authority, no power. He doesn't remember how long ago they were given the life jackets were given. He has no idea, can't remember how much one costs, which begs the question, did they even procure? If they procured, did he look at the procurement? You see, there are things that will come to your mind.
David, you see,
it's like, oh, roughly it's $100 or roughly it's $50. You know, I can't remember. I don't know how much it is today, but when we were procuring, it was within the range of about, you will know. Because
my concern is,
I'm so disgusted by the whole thing this morning.
So you are appealing to philanthropists to help.
Come and do what?
Now, I ask you, how much is it? You don't know.
You don't know.
So what help do you want? Fine, you don't have the means. Okay, but the least you can do is to do your homework. It costs this. If we get
You've been granting interviews.
If we have about 50, it will help. What have you been saying?
How come that by now You've not, no, you see, because
And
people
you
would have
don't-
asked you some of these questions already.
And you don't even remember how long
Yeah.
ago we gave these.
You don't
So
remember-
if you don't remember, why do you think that they are even still there? Why do you think
Yeah.
they are still in good shape? You don't even know what has happened to them because you don't even remember. So if it was last week, you are not sure. If it was 2 years ago, you are not sure. You don't even know how much one costs. So if I want to support, and
How
I
do
ask
we
you,
really support?
as the leader, as the government representative there, how much is it? You tell the philanthropist that you don't know.
And he says that he's not the one responsible for checking whether they are using life jackets or not.
Wow.
I beg to differ on this. And I don't know your job, so I can't presume to do your job. But there's one thing I know, is that you are the head of DISEC. As a district chief executive, you are the head of DISEC. As part of your district, the water bodies that pass through your district are under your purview. So marine police that you are pointing to, you have some responsibility.
No, but David,
over
I mean,
them.
when you even say that, DISEC engages with the people
Yeah.
and all that, but you, the DCE,
yeah.
it's not your responsibility. But
What
in
does that even
DISEC,
mean?
do you get it?
What does
the
that even
DISEC
mean?
that you supervise, they engage with them, they do
But
that.
you
but
don't
as for
know.
you, it's not.
DCE cannot go and be checking life jackets.